Is Facebook harmful to society? The social media giant is used to being in the spotlight for the wrong reasons, from being a platform that spreads misinformation to carelessness with user data. And it's had a bad couple of weeks, especially after an outage left all 3 of its platforms disabled.
Facebook and its group of apps and social media channels went down.
For nearly 2 billion daily users, it was unthinkable.
So if you wanted to share photos, you had to go door to door with Polaroids of your brunch.
The outage left many realizing how dependent we've become on Facebook's platforms, but it's also coming under fire for knowing about the negative effects it causes. Current and former employees say the company is obsessed with growth.
Her name is Frances Haugen. That is a fact that Facebook has been anxious to know since last month, when an anonymous former employee filed complaints with federal law enforcement.
Facebook are down 13% over the past month as the fallout from the Facebook whistleblower continues.
The amount of problematic content that we've found so far remains relatively small.
Well, Congresswoman, I think lying is bad, and I think if you were to run an ad that had a lie, that would be bad.
The online world of today is a battlefield where social media companies will do anything to get you to click, like, and share, regardless if the information is false or harmful. The fake news phenomenon has been linked to widening the polarization sweeping the globe. Riots in America, the rise of Europe's far right, and more recently, the anti-vaccine movement.
We're going to be looking specifically at misinformation that spreads among immigrant diaspora communities. Basically, instead of stuff like this Facebook post in English titled "The Fake Vaccination of Kamala Harris," which incidentally Facebook has flagged as false information, we're going to be looking at stuff like this post in Spanish featuring the exact same video, which as of taping has no such warning.
In other parts of the world, the impact of misinformation has had even graver consequences. Myanmar's military is being accused of orchestrating a 5-year campaign of misinformation on Facebook. The target was Myanmar's Muslim Rohingya minority. False information shared on Facebook led to murder, rape, and arson, worsening the largest forced migration in recent history.
Just a few years ago, hardly anyone had ever heard of the Rohingya. Now, everyone's got an opinion. Thanks in part to one development that would transform the country: social media. Sites like Facebook and Twitter are playing a role in the spread of anti-Rohingya and anti-Muslim vitriol.
Tech analysts and activists have long warned about the excessive use of social media and the costs of leaving big tech unchecked. Regulators and lawmakers have been trying to catch up with the fast-moving industry, but have had little success. But now, they could be getting some help as whistleblowers and former big tech employees step forward.
Facebook understands that if they want to continue to grow, they have to find new users. They have to make sure that the next generation is just as engaged with Instagram as the current one. And the way they'll do that is by making sure that children establish habits before they have good self-regulation.
By hooking kids.
By hooking kids.
An internal study by Facebook found that Instagram is harmful to young people. 32% of teenage girls said that when they felt bad about their bodies, Instagram made them feel worse. The app makes body image issues worse for 1 in 3 teen girls. And teens blame Instagram for increases in the rate of anxiety and depression. Apps have also proven to be highly addictive. Brain studies found that the unpredictability of what users might find with each swipe, in addition to endless series of beeps and flashing lights, reminds us that a potential reward might be waiting. And when it comes to privacy, Facebook has become infamous for how it treats user data. Short answer, they sell it. The accumulation of data from nearly 3 billion users has created a treasure trove of revenue streams. Stored user information, behaviors, and trends are all used to to tailor out the perfect target for advertisers. And after knowing so much about a user, these platforms can easily influence and manipulate people on so many levels.
Services on the internet that we think of as free, but they're not free. They're paid for by advertisers. Why do advertisers pay those companies? They pay in exchange for showing their ads to us. We're the product. Our attention is the product being sold to advertisers.
Facebook's recent image problem is also hitting its stock price. But for its shareholders and CEO Mark Zuckerberg, this all might be a temporary blip. Because for them, as long as users keep coming back, social media companies won't have any incentives to change their ways.